Just staying for a moment with this, I want to just focus for a minute on just how much is at stake. This vision paints a fairly stark picture of what will happen if the tough, bold policy decisions, the tough choices you spoke about, Gerard, are not taken. Just how serious is the challenge? I mean, you actually quote in the report an argument from the US National Intelligence Council, which somewhat unkindly, I think, puts it that if Europe doesn't take these far-sighted decisions, it will be a, quote, hobbled giant. Can I just ask our other two panellists, do you share the starkness of their warning? Are things really as potentially bad as they say they are, or is it perhaps being exaggerated to some extent? Either of you?
I think there is a risk in Europe that we lose the leadership that we have in a lot of areas. Industry, for example. Industry should usually represent 22–25% of our GDP. Now it's 17%. And I think that, of course, we are in a round table of industrialists, so I think it's okay to defend industry. I think that we need to keep industry alive in Europe. This may sound protectionist, and it's not. That doesn't mean that we have to focus on some type of protectionism. But we need to work in the direction that Europe cannot be just an economy of services, which probably will have to give up sometime in the future agriculture. But we cannot just be an economy of services. We need industry, because industry implies a lot of things in terms of employment, innovation, investment, and also a connection with the service industry. So we have to be able to make compatible more free trade, openness, and internal market with innovation to prevail, to make industry prevail in Europe. And also, we have the challenge of the size of the economy. We are an aging group of people. So our population is going to maintain or even reduce. And so our market is going to become smaller, and we are going to be surrounded by markets which are going to grow a lot. But that doesn't mean necessarily disadvantage. We have to work in providing a more value-added, more quality services and products, and to try to become a good suppliers of these huge markets. I'm not pessimistic with that. And regarding the US, which is the typical challenge, of course, they are ahead of us in per capita income. We have to work to try to fill the gap of per capita income with the US, but maybe this is just un consuelo, ¿no? ¿Cómo se dice un consuelo?
Consolation.
Consolation.
Relief.
Our life expectancy is much better than the US. Now, as I grow older,
I appreciate that.
and I have to choose between a few euros of per capita income or life expectancy, I vote for the second. So we have to work also to try to maintain our social model, to make our social model sustainable. And that's, of course, another topic which that the ERT is always facing, and their ideas and contributions are very important.
Indeed, it's a thread. Sustainability in all its facets is a thread that runs right through. I know you want to come in, Life, but before that, can I just ask Mario, we need, I mean, there is this talk of boldness. As I say, it's the starkness of the challenge. Is it courage? I mean, you talked earlier about avoiding the repugnant cacophony of different voices. Is it courage that Europe's political leaders now, and how much courage they need, i.e. is the situation as stark as ERT is painting it?
I think courage is needed, but I don't think one should present policy recommendations in terms of courage. It's too easy to say that other people lack courage. I think that it's a huge educational exercise in which we should all be involved. It's it's easier for politicians at the national, at the EU level, to make the right decision in a longer term perspective, even though they are politically costly in the short term, if the public opinion has been prepared to appreciate the positive consequences in the longer term of these decisions. That's why we come back to your question and their answers. That's why long-term projections of this sort are so important.